I still go talk to him today about being a leader, like stuff I need to do to help
Mm-hmm.
help strive. So I feel like I could take that everywhere in life, football and out of football.
Man,
You know what I mean?
we live, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like them Katy Tigers.
Like them Katy Tigers. Katy always got a good football team. They notorious for having a good football team. If you recall when we played in Katy on the same team, those guys in Katy were always good. You always had to see them coming from a mile away. And there was rumors that there was steroids going around.
Yeah,
you remember that?
Something in the water. There's got to be something in the water because these boys just can't be this good, God dog.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I will speak on that because when you said playing on the same team, I was gonna say junior high, high school because we did play Katy junior high and we did play. I played Katy in high school too.
Yeah.
The football program is started in Pee Wee, fam. Mm-hmm. It is started in KYF, Katy Youth Football. They are running the same plays because we definitely see Trey Hill do that to this day. He could do it in his sleep because he's done it from a toddler. You know what I'm saying? So, and also that also brings me to, do you know how long Coach Joseph has been Katy High School's head football coach?
No.
04, bro.
Really?
04.
20 years?
He has been their coach. Yes, bro. He has been their coach since 04.
It makes sense because the continuity and how great the program is. Shout out to him because it makes sense that there's been the same person in charge of decision making this whole time.
Yes.
What was the score on that Katy Taylor game?
57-6.
57-6. And I'm gonna be honest. The last couple of minutes I cut it off because there was nothing more to see. Rough. Well, I saw the whole game except for like the last 4 minutes of it, so I didn't catch the final score. But let me tell you, bro, Katy, and we reported on this when they played Atascocita. Katy's a real good football team, and they got some young bulls on that squad. Now, it looked like Katy Taylor came out with the intention of throwing the football most of those downs.
I like that. Yeah, man. Coach Babin did a good job at I don't know if he's calling the plays, the head coach, Coach Babin. But I did like that Barnum kid, the quarterback.
Yeah,
bro. He was slinging the ball. That's one of my notes right now. He was slinging the ball, bro.
Well, it looked like their intention of the reason behind them throwing the ball so much was because it became clear, like real early, and probably in past games, that you cannot run on this Katy defensive line. You cannot run. Your name needs to be Carde Mack if you gonna get yards against that Katy defensive front.
I did say that when I said that they're both sides actually, offense and defensive line is just it's great, bro. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how they do it, but it's great, dog.
That was the first hurdle that they had to overcome, and it just didn't work. And the bottom line is, if you throw a bunch of passes, you're likely gonna make some mistakes, throw some interceptions. Yeah, of course. Anytime you see a quarterback throw 30 passes in a game, you can almost guarantee if this is not a professional Pro Bowler or superstar quarterback, 30 passes is going to equal an interception in most cases. You raise that number and the more likelihood that you're going to put the ball in harm's way.
I was going to say the percentage is higher, of course. You throw the ball more, it's just like running the ball a bunch.
Yeah.
There's a fumble going to happen somewhere. Somewhere that ball's going to pop out.
But
I was going to say that Katy's DBs, they were nice too. The whole team is that's what I'll say about Katy High School. The whole team is fundamentally sound.
Yeah.
You can tell that when they go to practice, they are running that play on the 5-yard line every single time. Not 6, not 4, but 5. It needs to be on the 5.
Yeah.
And it's embedded every single time when they change their game plan up. And that's why they do a good job.
Just like that. And you know what? I think this is a good time to plug in. I had a conversation with Isaiah McMillan. He's a top 40 player in the state right now, DB, and he's been injured. He's missed the last few games, but he's expecting to be back next week. And what he told me was that they prepare for these games by looking at what these teams have done in the past and studying those plays. What's been the key to y'all's success on the defensive end?
I'd say the way we scout, we go through a bunch of their plays multiple times. Like every single play that we picked off, We ran that in scout at least a good 10 times.
So y'all were prepared for a lot of what they was gonna throw at you anyways.
Yes, sir.
Is that how y'all always prepare for these games?
It is. It is.
That just goes to highlight their preparation when it comes to every week showing up ready to perform. And I think that was a big deal. That's a big part of their success. And it means they likely going to be successful going even further, this season, because they're going to be fully prepared for whatever it is that you bring. Without Isaiah McMillan, the DBs that they had left on the field
did not miss a step.
They did not miss a step. And you can expect it.
Yeah. I think they ended up moving some kids up. They talked about one kid moving up versus Morton Ranch because they gave Morton Ranch the business. I'm so glad I didn't cover that score. That was 57-0. At least Taylor put up 6. So Taylor, that you could tell it was a dogfight. But we will also need to highlight and talk about how Katy did lose to Dickinson and Atascocita. Those are really big powerhouse schools too as well. But I think when it comes to district play, Katy holds that. They hold that. I don't know about the other ones, Jordan Ranch. There's a lot of new schools that are built in Katy since I was there back in my day. But Katy's still that team. They are still that team to beat.
I would say this. After watching them the last couple of weeks, I would like to see them have a rematch against some of those teams because the way I see it, this Katy team seems to be getting better by the week. And so they may not be what they were when they played against Atascocita last time. If they were able to see Atascocita again, likely in the playoffs, I think that it could be a different story. The score would look a lot different. I'm not here saying that they would beat them, but I think they can.
But it will be you can see them gelling.
My favorite player on this team is Tremaine Hill. Trey Hill had 3 TDs in this game, and they were swapping him out every drive because now they're running with 3 different running backs. Yeah,
and they have the talent where they can run 3 different running backs.
Yeah,
give everybody some juice. At the same time, if you look at the way of the game score is the game plan, they are able to do that.
Yeah,
might even be able to get the backup sometime. If you got a backup QB, you got a youngin.
Well, that's exactly what happened. Actually, they ended up pulling Jackson Franklin out of the lineup in the second half when the game was out of reach. I think it was like 44-6. They ended up pulling Jackson Franklin out. Yeah, you got to let him sit. He's done enough. You don't need him to get injured in playing meaningless downs. You want him
Same thing with Trey Hill too. You can see they put him in on distinct plays.
Yeah.
Like certain sets and certain plays, which is good too.
Well, he's my favorite player on this Katy team, and even though they do have a lot of talent at running back, I think that they all benefit from having a great offensive line, which is another chance to plug in with my conversation with Isaiah. Is that I asked him which one of his teammates are the most likely to go pro. And instead of saying Trey Hill or Jackson Franklin, he mentioned an offensive lineman.
I'll say Isaac Coffer. He's one of our O-linemen. Got the size, got the physicality.
If you watch some of them plays, I don't know if it was a guard. I don't know what position he's talking about, but there was somebody pulling, and he was pancaking boys, bro. Like he was pancaking boys, and
they got some big boys.
If you're doing that, but also all teams do because we will state that Taylor. The score looks different than what the game really was. It wasn't like it wasn't a fight. There was a fight there.
Yeah,
there was a fight, but we just saw who won the fight.
Well, so, look, with respect to those guys at Katy Taylor, I gotta mention that while watching this game, I'm thinking, okay, Coach really got a project on his hands if he's going to turn this around, because we already knew the expectation were these two teams were not evenly matched. It was pretty lopsided. But what I saw in this game, I saw some of these guys missing tackles that would have saved them from some of those touchdowns. I saw bad body language. Their quarterback, when he make a mistake, throw an interception, I saw a pick six run right by him, and he looks like he's just disgusted at throwing the interception, which anybody would be, but he stopped playing.
Of course,
I saw other guys stop playing like, or seemingly stop playing after bad things were happening, and you don't want that. You want guys to play the full game so that when you look at it later, you can say with impunity that you gave it your all and you did everything that you could to get the win. If you're a kid playing for Katy Taylor, like, this is not the end of the road. This is not the end of the road. You can always come out next week, have a much better game, and perform well. But this is on film. So now you always got the film to look at. Exactly. Yeah. And so I'm just.
And if a coach is coming to look at a Katy game and they see a kid that doesn't give up in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left, and he is still blocking or he is still running full speed, that's something that they're gonna put on the, like. We have homies and friends that are scouts. Like, it's what they're gonna look at, bro. That's what they're looking at.
Exactly, because you can't fake effort. You can get lucky on some plays, but you can't fake effort. And I just don't think that Katy Taylor gave it everything that they could have when it didn't look like they could win no more. And I think that's something that coaches gonna have to overcome, because it's hard to coach effort. You know, I feel for him, because that has to be a tough job, trying to coach effort and looking at the body language when they're losing, because it's easy to have good body language when you're winning. But the test of your character is going to be, what do you look like and sound like when things are not going your way? And I really do think that that's something they'll have to work on.